Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Peace on Tech. I hope you're all doing well. Today I want to talk to you about something that can truly change your life. Let's begin. Common idioms used in daily life. A dime a dozen. The phrase a dime a dozen means something is very common or easily obtained, often implying that it's not particularly valuable. For example, with so many coffee shops in the city, good baristas are really a dime a dozen. A blessing in disguise. A blessing in disguise refers to a seemingly unfortunate event that results in a positive outcome later. It highlights the unpredictable nature of life and the silver linings that can emerge from challenges. But a penny for your thoughts. A penny for your thoughts is a phrase used to ask someone what they're thinking, often when they seem preoccupied. For example, if a friend is silent during a conversation, you might say you seem deep in thought. A penny for your thoughts. Actions speak louder than words. Actions speak louder than words means that what people do is more significant and revealing than what they say. For example, someone may promise to help a friend, but only truly demonstrate their support by showing up and providing assistance during a difficult time. Barking up the wrong tree. Barking up the wrong tree means pursuing a mistaken or misguided course of action. For example, if someone suspects their coworker of stealing their lunch when it was actually a mix-up in the office fridge, they are barking up the wrong tree. Bite the bullet. Bite the bullet means to endure a painful or difficult situation with courage. This idiom is often used when someone is faced with an unpleasant task that must be tackled, illustrating the need for resilience in tough times. Break the ice. Break the ice refers to the act of initiating conversation in a social setting, often to relieve tension or make people feel more comfortable. This idiom underscores the importance of communication and establishing rapport among individuals who may feel awkward or shy. Burning the candle at both ends. Burning the candle at both ends means to exhaust oneself by doing too much, typically involving late nights and early mornings. For example, a student who stays up all night studying and wakes up early for classes is burning the candle at both ends. Burning the midnight oil. Burning the midnight oil means staying up late to work or study, often to meet a deadline or accomplish a task. For example, she was burning the midnight oil to finish her report before the morning deadline. Caught between a rock and a hard place. Caught between a rock and a hard place means being faced with two difficult choices, neither of which is favorable. For example, a student must decide whether to study for exams or attend a crucial family event, leaving them stressed and unable to fully commit to either option. Catch someone off guard. Catch someone off guard means to surprise someone when they are not prepared. You might hear the sudden announcement caught me off guard. I didn't expect it at all. Cool as a cucumber. Cool as a cucumber means being calm and composed, especially in a stressful situation. For example, despite the chaos of the crowded airport, she remained cool as a cucumber, confidently navigating her way to the departure gate. Cost an arm and a leg. Cost an arm and a leg means that something is very expensive or comes at a high price. For example, the repairs for my car cost an arm and a leg, so I decided to save up instead. Cut to the chase. Cut to the chase means to get straight to the point without wasting time on unnecessary details. For example, instead of discussing the weather, you might say, let's cut to the chase. We need to finalize the budget today. Cry over spilled milk. Cry over spilled milk is an idiom meaning to be upset about something that has already happened and cannot be changed. For example, after losing the game, he realized it was no use to cry over spilled milk and focused on training for the next match. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. The phrase, don't count your chickens before they hatch, means that one should not assume success or rely on a future outcome before it actually happens. For example, she was planning her vacation before hearing back from the job interview. Someone reminded her not to count her chickens before they hatch. Ease your mind. Ease your mind means to relieve stress and calm your thoughts. For example, practicing deep breathing or engaging in a soothing activity like reading can help ease your mind after a long day. It's about finding peace and clarity amid life's hectic pace. Every cloud has a silver lining. The phrase every cloud has a silver lining means that even in difficult situations, there is potential for something positive or hopeful to emerge. For example, losing a job might lead to new opportunities for personal growth and or a better career path. Giving someone the cold shoulder. Giving someone the cold shoulder means to intentionally ignore or show indifference to a person. For example, after their argument, Jenna started giving Mark the cold shoulder by avoiding eye contact and not responding to his texts. Feeling under the weather. Feeling under the weather is an idiom that means feeling ill or unwell. For example, I had to skip the party because I was feeling under the weather with a cold. It often refers to minor ailments rather than serious illness. Go the extra mile. Go the extra mile means to make an additional effort beyond what is expected or required. For example, a teacher staying after school to help a struggling student demonstrates going the extra mile. Hit the nail on the head. The phrase hit the nail on the head highlights the idea of precisely identifying a problem. It's often employed in discussions where pinpointing issues is crucial. If someone articulates a complex challenge, succinctly agreeing with them by saying they hit the nail on the head acknowledges their insight. Hit the ground running. Hit the ground running means to start a task or activity with enthusiasm and energy, immediately becoming active and effective. For example, after the training session, Sarah hit the ground running, tackling her new project with full enthusiasm right away. In the blink of an eye. In the blink of an eye refers to a very short amount of time or an almost instantaneous event. For example, the football game changed in the blink of an eye when the underdog team scored a last-minute goal. In the same boat. In the same boat means to be in a similar situation or faced with the same challenges as someone else. For example, when the project deadline was moved up, we were all in the same boat, scrambling to finish our tasks on time. Jump on the bandwagon. Jump on the bandwagon means to adopt a popular trend or activity, often to fit in or gain approval. For example, when a new diet becomes popular, many people decide to follow it just because others are doing so. Kick the bucket. Kick the bucket is a lighthearted euphemism for dying. While the phrase may sound humorous, it highlights the seriousness of mortality while maintaining a level of levity about an otherwise somber topic. Kill two birds with one stone. The phrase kill two birds with one stone means to accomplish two tasks with a single action. For example, by studying during your commute, you can prepare for an exam while also getting to work. Let the cat out of the bag. Let the cat out of the bag means to reveal a secret accidentally. If someone inadvertently shares a surprise party plan while chatting, they've let the cat out of the bag. No pain, no gain. No pain, no gain means that significant achievements often require hard work and sacrifice. For example, an athlete trains rigorously, enduring sore muscles to improve their performance and reach their goals. Make a long story short. Make a long story short means to summarize a lengthy explanation or narrative into a concise version. For example, instead of detailing the entire event, you might simply say, "We got lost, missed the concert, but still had fun exploring the city." To miss the boat. Miss the boat means to miss an opportunity or fail to take advantage of a situation. For example, if you didn't apply to the job in time, you might say, "I really missed the boat on that opportunity." On cloud nine. On cloud nine means to be in a state of extreme happiness or bliss. For example, after receiving the good news about her promotion, she was on cloud nine all day. Once in a blue moon. Once in a blue moon refers to an event that happens very infrequently. For example, a person might say, "I only go to the theater once in a blue moon as I prefer binge watching shows at home." Piece of cake. Piece of cake is a fun way to describe something that is exceptionally easy to accomplish. It's a great idiom for informal contexts, allowing individuals to express confidence. For example, if someone asks how difficult a certain task is, replying with "it's a piece of cake" reassures others of its simplicity. Pull someone's leg. Pull someone's leg means to tease or joke with someone in a playful manner. For example, if someone says they won the lottery while wearing pajamas and you respond, "Are you pulling my leg?" you're suggesting they might be joking. Put all your eggs in one basket. The phrase, "put all your eggs in one basket," means to risk everything on a single venture or opportunity. For example, investing all your savings in one stock can lead to significant losses if the stock fails. Read between the lines. The idiom "read between the lines" means to understand a deeper or hidden meaning behind something that is said or written, rather than just taking it at face value. For example, if someone says they're fine in a strained tone, reading between the lines suggests they might actually be upset. See eye to eye. The phrase "see eye to eye" means to agree or have a shared understanding with someone. For example, if two colleagues see eye to eye on a project, it means they have the same opinion about how to approach it. Speak of the devil. Speak of the devil is a phrase used when someone mentioned appears unexpectedly. For example, if you are talking about a friend and they walk in, you might say, "the speak of the devil." Spill the beans. Spill the beans means to reveal a secret or disclose confidential information. This idiom captures the essence of surprise and the often unintended consequences of sharing information that may have been meant to remain private. Take with a grain of salt. Take with a grain of salt means to maintain a degree of skepticism or not take something too literally, suggesting that the information may not be entirely reliable. For example, if someone hears a rumor, they might say, "I heard it, but I'll take it with a grain of salt until I get more details." The ball is in your court. The ball is in your court is a metaphorical expression indicating that it is now someone else's turn to take action, make a decision. This phrase emphasizes personal responsibility in interactions, reminding others that they control the direction of a situation. The early bird catches the worm. The early bird catches the worm means that those who act promptly and take initiative are more likely to achieve success. For example, a student who starts studying for exams well in advance is likely to perform better than one who procrastinates. Through thick and thin illustrates unwavering support during both good and bad times. An example could be they've remained friends through thick and thin, always there for each other. Wear your heart on your sleeve. Wear your heart on your sleeve means to openly express your emotions and feelings without hiding them. For example, a person who shares their worries about a job interview before it happens is wearing their heart on their sleeve, showing vulnerability and honesty. When pigs fly. When pigs fly is an idiomatic expression used to indicate that something is impossible or highly unlikely to happen. For example, if someone says, "I'll believe he'll clean his room when pigs fly," they mean that it's very unlikely he will ever do it. Wrap your head around something. Wrap your head around something means to understand or come to grips with a complex idea or situation. For example, it took me a while to wrap my head around the new project requirements. Under the weather. Under the weather is an idiom meaning feeling ill or unwell. For example, if someone has a cold, they might say, "I'm staying home today because I'm feeling a bit under the weather." This phrase conveys that they are not at their best health-wise. You can't judge a book by its cover. The phrase, "you can't judge a book by its cover," means that external appearances don't necessarily reflect the true value or quality of something. For example, a poorly designed book may contain an engaging story, just as a well-designed cover might hide a mediocre plot. You can't have your cake and eat it too. The phrase, "you can't have your cake and eat it too," means you cannot enjoy two mutually exclusive benefits at the same time. For example, wanting to save money while simultaneously spending it on luxury items illustrates this contradiction. Your guess is as good as mine. The phrase, "your guess is as good as mine," means that one person does not know the answer to a question or situation, just as the other does not. For example, if asked why a meeting was canceled, a person might respond, "Your guess is as good as mine," indicating uncertainty. Zip your lip. Zip your lip means to keep quiet or not speak about something, often used to instruct someone to stop talking. For example, if a friend is about to reveal a secret, you might say, "Zip your lip." I hope you enjoyed the video. That's all for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe my YouTube channel. See you next time.